today's video is going to be my favorite drugstore slash affordable makeup brushes. I asked you guys in my I asked you guys in my e.l.f. haul if you wanted to see a video like this, and a lot of you guys said yes. So that is what I'm doing today. I have a lot of affordable brushes that I absolutely love. I don't think that you need to go out and spend a bunch of money on brushes. Don't get me wrong, there are a couple of high-end brushes that I feel like I can't live without, but I really don't think you need your entire brush set to be MAC or Sigma or anything really expensive like that. Don't get me wrong, I love those brands. I think they're great, but there are affordable options at the drugstore that work just as well. So like I said before, I do have a lot of them, but I've narrowed them down to my favorite 8 face brushes and my favorite 8 eye brushes. And out of all the brushes I'm going to be talking about today, there are only 4 brands in total. My favorite cheap brushes, well, not cheap as in quality, but cheap as in money. My favorite inexpensive brands for makeup brushes are Real Techniques, e.l.f, Ecotools, and Morphe Brushes. I think they are amazing, and yeah, let's jump right in. So I'm going to start off with the face, and I'm going to go in order as to which you would apply your makeup. I think the best foundation brush isn't a brush, it is a sponge, and I don't think anything can beat the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Miracle Complexion sponge. I'm not exactly sure what the name of this sponge is, but it is the only sponge Real Techniques sells. This is a $6 sponge. You can get it at realtechniques.com or at selective drugstores. This is a great sponge. It is very comparable to the Beauty Blender that is so highly talked about, and the Beauty Blender is $20. Ever since I bought this, I really don't use my Beauty Blender all that much. I don't think they're exact dupes. I'm not gonna lie, I think the Beauty Blender is just a little bit better because I feel like this soaks up a little bit more foundation than that one, but for the price, I am not gonna repurchase my Beauty Blender. I'm gonna stick to this. I prefer sponges to put on my foundation personally. I just think it gives a more flawless finish, and I just recommend this sponge so much for anyone. For those of you who don't like to use sponges to put on your foundation, my favorite foundation brush from the drugstore is this one right here. This is also from Real Techniques, and this is the buffing brush. This buffs in my foundation beautifully. I use this a lot with my mineral makeup or tinted moisturizers or anything that I feel like using a brush with. This is what I go for. This, you can't buy it on its own. It does come in a set with 3 other brushes besides this, but it is under $20, I believe. So for under $20, you do get 4 brushes, and I use all of them. I think they're great. I'm actually going to be talking about another one in that set in just a few minutes, but I prefer this one over the Expert Face Brush from Real Techniques. You can get the Expert Face Brush on its own, you don't need to buy it in a set, but I think that this applies foundation a little bit better. The other one can leave streak marks on my face, and this one doesn't do that. This just buffs in the foundation amazingly well. For my under eye concealer, this is my holy grail brush, and it is also from Real Techniques, and it is their contour brush. This is the other brush I was talking about that comes in the set with this. The other 2 brushes is like a lip brush that I use all the time, and then a foundation brush, like a traditional flat foundation brush. But this is the best brush to blend out concealer underneath your eyes. I'll just dab some underneath my eyes and then buff it out with this, blend it in, and it just blends in flawlessly. I recommend this so badly if you're having trouble blending your under eye concealer, you can't get it to blend well. It's also really amazing for contouring, of course. It gets right in the hollows of the cheekbones. It's a great contour brush as well. So I love this. So I might as well just show you my last favorite Real Techniques brush for the face because, I mean, why not? And it is the blush brush. I love this brush specifically for bronzer. You could absolutely use this for blush. I do sometimes when I want like a really light wash of blush. I just blend it really lightly on my cheeks, and it works like that. But it is so great for bronzing. It's a perfect size to bronze all over your face. This is also really good for powder. You just dust it in your powder and set your foundation with it. It's just an overall great brush. The shape of it is what makes it so unique and amazing. Okay, so the next brush I want to talk about is from Ecotools, and it is their tapered blush brush. This is a new recent discovery of mine, and I'm obsessed with it. What makes it so special is the shape. As you can tell, it's like kind of looks like a paddle brush, but then when you turn it on its side, it gets really thin. So it is tapered, but then it comes to like a nice point. It's like pointy at the top. I don't know if you can tell, but I love this brush. It's a great blush brush. You just pat it into your brush on its side and then pack it right on your cheekbones and it applies blush beautifully. But I really love this for contouring. You just dip it into your contour powder and get right in the hollows of the cheekbones. Because it comes to that really pointy tip, you get a really good chiseled contour with this brush because it's so pointy. I've also heard a lot of people love this to dust powder on their face because of its shape. It's just overall a really great brush. And of course, Ecotools is great because they are environmentally friendly. I believe this is like recycled, I don't know what material this is, I forgot, but this is bamboo. It's just a really good brand, cruelty free, and you know, they're eco-friendly, so that's good. And then the last 4 face products that I really love are from e.l.f. All these brushes are $3 each, so that's great. My holy grail e.l.f. brush is my complexion brush. I use this all the time. I actually used this today to bronze up my face. You could contour with it because of its shape. It is a tapered brush, just like the Ecotools one, as you can see, but it's a little bit fluffier. So you don't get a super precise contour, but it is nice. I mean, I contoured with it today, and it's just a great brush for bronzer. It's probably one of my favorite brushes for bronzing my face of all time, out of all the brushes I have, and it's $3. It just gets right onto my large forehead perfectly, and it's just a really nice, easy brush. My next favorite brush from e.l.f. is the small stipple brush. This is a great brush to add highlighter to the face. You just dip it into your product and then stipple it on your cheekbones and you get a beautiful highlight. What's so amazing about these little brushes is that they're good for cream highlight as well. So I just put my cream product on my hand and then swirl the brush in it and then stipple it on my cheeks, and you get a perfect application of cream highlight, and it's just really great. It's very comparable to the MAC one. MAC has a small stipple brush exactly like this, and honestly I really can't tell the difference. It's just a great brush for that. I also love using this for cream contouring. It just blends out a cream contour so well. I don't even know. It's just a great brush. And then the next 2 brushes I want to talk about are fairly new to me. I just recently got them this month, but they are so good and I've been using them non-stop. The first one is the e.l.f. Small Tapered Brush. I used this today to set my under eye concealer. I just dip it in my powder and then lightly dab it over my concealer, and it just sets the concealer so well. You could also use this to highlight the cheekbones. This is just amazing. It's really similar to the Sigma one that everybody loves, and it's just a nice brush. And then the Flawless Concealer brush is also a really good one. Pat your concealer in and it pats it in flawlessly, and this is also a great contour brush. If you want a really chiseled, like strong contour, this is a really good one because it's so small. You get right in the hollows of the cheekbones, and it's also great to contour the nose because of its size. Contour your nose and it works really well. It's also really good for your eyes. You can use this as a crease brush. I mean, it's really large, but if you want like a fast neutral crease color, you just dip it right in and swirl it in your crease, and it works that way too. Those were my favorite face brushes. They're all really inexpensive. By the way, I will link all the brushes down below, like all the websites that you can get these brushes at. So now moving on to my favorite eye brushes. The first one is the e.l.f. Eyeshadow C brush. I know that the e.l.f. $1 line has a really good shading brush like this. Personally, haven't had good experiences with the e.l.f. $1 brush line at all, so I definitely recommend all of these studio line brushes. They're just my favorite. They're $3 each and the other ones are $1 each, so those are more affordable, but these are still really inexpensive and they're the ones that I prefer. They don't shed on me and they hold up the best. The other ones shed on me a lot. I don't like the $1 line. This is a great brush to pack the color on the lid. It works really well. It's just a basic shading brush and it's $3, and I think it is worth it. The next 3 brushes I really love are from Ecotools, and 2 of them are double-ended. So my next favorite is this one from Ecotools, and it is their flat eyeliner brush. I love this brush to smudge really close to my lower lash line. Like to get that really precise eyeshadow really close to your waterline. This is a great brush for that. It's flat and it's sharp, but it is really soft, which is why I like it to smudge underneath my lash line. I don't like harsh brushes right underneath the lash line because I don't feel like they blend well, and I don't know, this one is really soft. Even though it is like a sharp, straight, you know, square looking brush, it is really soft. I also really love this little duo set from Ecotools. You buy these together, they come in like a set, and they're really good. You get a shader brush, a definer brush, a blending brush, and a smudging brush. So your definer brush is just your basic angled brush. This is a great brush to do your eyebrows with if you're into that, or to get right underneath the lower lash line, just like the other one. And you just have your basic shader brush on the other end. This is great for packing on color onto the lid, and it is really soft, so you can also just kind of dust some color into your crease as well. Ecotools brushes are like notorious for being really soft. So that's this brush. And then this is the other one that's amazing. It has a smudger brush on one end, which is so good for smudging out eyeliner. What I'll do with this is I'll apply like Maybelline's Master Drama eyeliner right here really close to my lashes, and then I'll get this brush and smudge it, and it does such a good job of smoking out eyeliner. This is a great smudger brush because it's firm but it's really soft too. And then the other side has this blending brush. I love this one because it's really different from all the other ones that I'm about to show you because it is small. It's a really small blending brush. This is great for people with small eyes, or if you want to get a really precise color in your crease. Like a cut crease would be perfect with this brush. It's just so good because of its size. I love it. I definitely recommend this set from Ecotools because you get 4 brushes in one and it's really inexpensive. The only thing is that storing them is a little bit difficult, but it's worth it in my opinion. The next brush I'm going to talk about is my holy grail eyebrow brush, and it is this one right here from Royal and Langnickel. I got this at Michael's for $2. I don't exactly know what the name of it is, but it says 10 Royal and Langnickel. That's all I know, but it's just a nice stiff brush. You can absolutely use a brush like this for your eyebrows, but I prefer one like this because it is a lot harder and a lot stiffer. This is strictly for eyebrows for me. I can't really use this to smudge underneath my lash line because it's so stiff. So it's just strictly my eyebrow brush, but ever since I bought this, I will not use any other brush on my eyebrows. It gives me that really sharp square at the tip of my eyebrows, and it's just holy grail. So the next 3 brushes I want to talk about are from the same brand, and they're from Morphe Brushes. I just recently discovered this brand, and when I bought these I was like, wow, these are great. So the first one is a fluffy brush, and it is so great. This is the MB23. This is so similar to the Sigma E40 that everybody loves, that I really love as well. It's just a little bit fluffier, but I like that. It just buffs the color into your crease so well. I used it today to apply my crease shade, and it applied it like a freaking dream. Also known on the website as the round blender, by the way, and I believe this brush is under $6. That is insane because the quality, I'm so impressed with Morphe brushes. I have a bunch of them, but since I just started recently using them, I can't really sit here and tell you they're my favorites, but since I bought these, I haven't put them down. So this is just a great brush to apply your transition shade. It's basically what I use it for, and all the colors blend in with it beautifully after I do that. So I highly recommend this one. Next one from them is this one right here, and it is the MB13. This one reminds me a lot of the MAC 217 brush. The MAC 217 is probably the only high-end brush that I say nothing compares to, and I will continue to repurchase it if it ever gets damaged. But this is really similar in terms of its shape. It is tapered, but it's a lot fluffier. I love this to pack color on the outer V and then bring it into the crease. This is an amazing brush for that. It's just your typical blending brush that isn't so big and fluffy. And then the last brush I want to talk about is the MB25, and it is just a round blending brush. It blends your concealer underneath your eyes really well. Another thing it does is that it kind of erases your mess up. I don't know how to explain it. Let's say you put something in your crease, but you put it on too strong, like your crease color is just a little bit too heavy. This does a really good job of like buffing it away. Because it is a big fat round brush, but it's a little bit stiff when you touch it. So I love to use this when I get a little bit too heavy handed. This is just the perfect brush to just go in there and blend that crease color. This is a really great blending brush. Honestly, with these 3 brushes from Morphe Brushes, you get the perfect blown out crease, the perfect blend to your eyeshadow. With these 3 brushes, your eyes will be super beautifully blended, and it didn't even cost you that much. Okay guys, so those were my favorite drugstore / affordable makeup brushes. I really hope that this video helped you in some way, and maybe you'll be interested in some of these brushes. Like I said, I will link everything down below. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful more than anything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Contour with this. Pretty recent to me. What? The next 3 eyebrows. Oh my god. The next 3 brushes I want to share with you guys are also new to my collection. I just recently The next three and so the okay, and the last three eye brushes. Okay, and the last, oh no.